Hello everybody, my name is Skybound.
Cyclax.
And we've just got finished watching episode 14 of Steins Gate.
Well,
And boy, was this a big one.
well, let's say, you know that John Cena meme,
Yeah.
right? It could be quite appropriate. Instead of John Cena, it could be,
So we've got, apparently, Suzuha, part-time warrior,
is actually
is actually John Titor! Oh fuck, that was terrible. Let's reverse. Hold on, let me put on my time leap machine. Hold on. Where's my time leap machine? Here we go. Right, okay, let's try that again. And it's there.
Maybe in this timeline you always screw this up.
And his name is John Titor. There we go, nailed it. I totally did take 3 takes to get that right.
Are you going to edit that out?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Anyway, yes. Very interesting episode.
Yeah.
Very interesting episode indeed. So we saw Mayuri getting killed again and again
and again.
and a freaking again.
Like Groundhog Day.
Okabe starting to lose his mind a little bit.
What do you mean starting to? He already was when he first started doing all this.
Yeah, but that was more kind of the, you know, the mad scientist type. This is actually him mentally breaking down.
Yeah, it seems like... So, in other words, the explanation that was eventually given was that there's a group of world lines, and you have to get further away by a certain amount to be able to actually change the overall outcome. So, as long as those world lines, you may be able to change between world lines, but even if you did a D-mail, you wouldn't be able to change it further than it needed to be able to stop essentially the deaths happening. Essentially,
So
the same events would still happen. You just have to get more than 1% divergence to be able to change the group of world lines where something would happen. So it was essentially what I was expecting.
So basically, they just have to jump to a world line that's so different from the one they're currently on that it's actually a whole new divergence number. So at the moment it's like 0.331 something else, but the point is it's still in the 0 point. What they need it to do is be in the 1 point something, and then it will be on a new world line, from what I understand.
Yeah, well, the interesting thing is where it was pretty much confirmed that thing was a time machine. I mean, we picked this up before when it disappeared at that point where she couldn't find her father. So it does seem like that point where...
Yeah,
So in other words, it's been confirmed that it's a time machine. It's confirmed that she's a time traveler. We just didn't know she was John.
Yeah, so Suzuha, as it turns out, is John Titor, which is really that threw me, because I thought at first, you know Daru?
Yeah.
I thought he might be John Titor.
Yeah.
Because I remember we discussed like earlier in one of the episodes that Daru might be her father.
Yeah.
And that might have then...
Well, it could...
That would have been my guess, at least.
Well, it could be that we got the person wrong, because if he's developed this time machine, then it could be that he... Well...
Yeah, so basically... So John Titor is Suzuha. So I guess John Titor is more of an alias, like a pen name rather than anything.
It kind of makes sense, because if it was a real name, or whatever fucking organisation is trying to kill them is essentially, well, we could easily find out who it was.
So there was also so future Okabe actually developed the.
He may be her like father.
Possibly, but more importantly, Okabe is in the future created that device to actually see what world line they were on, like the divergence number that they were on at the moment.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that that MacGuffin is going to be helpful in their sort of quest to reach 1% divergence, so they'll be able to tell what world line they're on.
So now they actually have a physical time machine now. They've actually been able to. So before, but it could just like they've been able to either send information back via the emails or send memories back, which has the effect of essentially your. It has an effect of you basically moving your conscience back. Although it does make me wonder what the hell happens to the bodies in those worlds where that does, when that they leave. But that's an entire different thing that's probably been covered in fan fiction. But
So here's an interesting thing. The D-mails, when they get sent, they actually change. Like if they change something, they actually change the divergence number, the divergent, like the line you're on, the world line that you're on. The divergence number changes when you use a D-mail to change the past, essentially. You don't change the divergence number when you do the time leap.
I'm willing to bet that the reason for that is because you're not, at that point you put those headphones on, you're not actually doing any divergence. It's done after you've gone back in time. And that information you're using to do it. So I'm willing to bet that if you made any changes after doing that and you knew the number of that machine, well, that number on that machine, you would see it tick over to a different number as you did certain actions.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be more like, so I think they'll need to use both the D-mails and the time leap thing. So they need to use the time leap to keep jumping back, to prevent Mayuri from dying. But each time that they leap backwards, they need to do something else with the D-mail to shift the.
Well, they've now got their own bloody time machine, for crying out loud. So.
Well, they've got a physical time machine, but the question is, what can they actually do with that at the moment? I mean, it looks pretty beat up in the thing, but maybe it does still work.
It probably still works because she was able to use it to get away before. But
was that a different world line?
No. One of the things I found interesting was one of the deaths of what's the name?
Mayuri.
Yeah, Mayuri. She seemed to be like a jelly one point.
Yeah, that one was interesting. It was only there for like a flash, so I don't know if that was just like.
But I'm sure I did see one that was like that at some point.
There was a jelly person, but I'm not too sure how that would have happened because the only way that could have been triggered is if they teleported using CERN's technology rather than. Because the CERN is the thing. CERN's technology is the thing that created the Jellyman, and I doubt they put Mayuri in the microwave. I'm just.
Yeah.
So it's weird. I'm not too sure what that's about.
Well, anyway,
it's definitely interesting.
I'm sure we'll find out in the next episode, really. So
yeah, I'm kind of curious. I'm kind of curious of what's gonna keep happening. I mean,
I think at this point we're gonna find a way of at least stopping her from being killed on that day. I think that's probably what we're gonna see in the next episode.
That's probably what it's going to go for. It probably wants to delay. Probably the aim would be to delay her death, so they have more time to do things that will prevent it. Because I imagine each time that they leap back, obviously they have to explain things all over again, or do something behind the scenes to.
Well, I think now they've got themselves an actual time machine. It may actually help things a bit more for them. It's only because of what he did that, by going back, by going back in time, the first time they used their time leap, and then instead of waiting until the last moment, they basically went back further.
Yeah.
So he basically did it in another jump to get back even earlier. So that kind of sounds like that's how he was able to get around that.
I mean, that kind of backs up the theory that I had that you can use. So you'd be able to technically time leap up to 2 days before the completion of the time leap device, because
Yeah, because they had only just finished. Yeah, because they just finished it at that point, didn't
Yeah,
they?
so if they used it immediately, they could go back up to 2 days.
Yeah.
But of course, at that point, they'd have to wait 2 days before it's usable again.
Yeah, and he would risk the dangers of actually creating that damn device in the first place, not creating that device in the first place.
Although that does bring up about.
I mean, as you say, time paradoxes clearly happen here.
Here's an interesting question, though.
Happen here really because they've got like different timelines.
Yeah, I mean, here's an interesting thing, though. Could you potentially step back further and further with that? Because, okay, so you can transport up to 2 days past before the creation of the device. What if you then sped up the development of the device so it only took 1 more day to complete?
Oh.
And then you used it again? You're technically stepping further and further back in time. It's kind of a 2 steps forward, well, 2 steps backwards, 1 step forward kind of thing.
Yeah, so you
or 1 step forward, 2 steps back, more like.
Yeah, and you would do that over and over again. And
that could maybe work. It would be a very sort of. Although I suppose maybe the events that preempt the original sort of creation of it, because I suppose it would originally get to a point where they're not actually working on it. So it's kind of that's an interesting thing though. Maybe there is some merit to that idea. I don't know.
It's an interesting one. Anyway, I think we've dabbled on a bit. So
yeah, we've done pretty good. I tried to do a thing where I kind of looked like I was doing some Steins Gate sort of stuff, but I will probably cut that out, depending on how comedic genius it is. Maybe it'll go in a blooper reel later.
We need to do a blooper reel at some point.
Maybe I'll just shove it at the start of the video and just go, look how stupid we are.
I don't know, but we'll soon you'll find out, basically.
You'll find out after these messages. Anyway, yes. Good episode, another good episode. Very curious to see how it's going to go from here. I hope you enjoyed our reacting that's down in the description. And yeah, watch all of our other anime stuff too, because we're putting out a lot of those lately. So, you know, if you like our anime reactions, Hero Academia, Sword Art Online, trust me, it's probably good.
Yeah. What do you mean probably? It is good.
It's the highest quality reactions you could ever watch, probably. But anyway,
right.
As usual, my name's Skybound.
Starlight Flex.
I will see you for the next episode of Steins Gate. Elsai Konru.